or that's the story of the NCR market. We think of NCR as a cohesive real estate market, and it is to a large extent from the perspective of a real estate buyer. His affordability decisions, where you buy a home in the region, all of them depend on NCR being considered as a cohesive market. Sometimes you find people are traveling across from Noida to Gurgaon for work. But as we welcome 2016, grappling with real estate's worst slowdown in 5 years, it's important to ask which of these markets is likely to revive soon. And part of that answer comes from what the state governments are doing for real estate. So as we center our debate on NCR's property, we're going to get your perspective on UP versus Haryana. After all, these two states are very different, governing the housing stock of some of the key markets of the National Capital Region. Welcome everyone. My guests today are Pankaj Bajaj, MD Eldeco Infrastructure and Properties, Arjun Puri, MD Puri Constructions, Mohit Goyal, CEO of Omax, Gaurav Kumar, MD Capital Markets, CBRE South Asia, and Sameer Jasuja, founder and MD of Prop Equity. Before I go across to my panel and start grilling them, here's something interesting that you all need to just have a recap on. Let's take infrastructure first and tell you the Haryana story. Now, what's happening? Clearly, and for everyone to watch, lack of proper planning and administration has left Gurgaon's infrastructure in shambles. Roads in pathetic conditions, dug up in every corner, sewage, garbage disposal, water tables, everything is a concern. And you've been reading about that and hearing about it. Metro projects, though, on the other hand, are a plus. Extension of rapid metro is in progress on a PPP mode. A survey has been conducted to connect Gurgaon directly with Delhi's sub-city Dwarka. So those are some thumbs up for infrastructure of Gurgaon. The existing metro line ending at Hura City Centre metro station is also getting extended to connect old Gurgaon with new. So lots, metros literally changed Gurgaon's connectivity, and in what a big way. In September last year, Faridabad got direct connectivity with various parts of Delhi via a 13.7-kilometer long metro corridor. So these are some of the plus points and the big negative of Haryana when it comes to infrastructure. Now let's shift focus to Uttar Pradesh. And when we say Uttar Pradesh, clearly the markets which we are interested in are Noida, Greater Noida, Yamuna Expressway and Ghaziabad. When it comes to infrastructure and connectivity, Noida seems to have an edge over Gurgaon, at least in terms of planned and better roads. They're much, much better. We'll have to give it hands down to the UP government on that front. NH24 is getting widened. Prime Minister Narendra Modi rolled out a 7,500 crore decongestion plan for NH24 on the second last day of 2015. So just before the year ended, that was a big news and bonanza which came in. This highway connecting Delhi to Meerut will be upgraded into a signal-free access controlled expressway. This will cut travel time between the two cities to just 40 minutes. You also have existing NH24, which will be widened into a signal-free 14-lane expressway. And this bypass has emerged as a big one for affordable housing. Metro, what's happening? Noida and its twin city, Greater Noida, are being brought closer with a 30-kilometer long metro corridor. And Ghaziabad metro extension, 9.6-kilometer long elevated Dilshad Garden, new bus adda stretch is likely to be commissioned in 2017. Okay, I've gone breathless, so I'm going to now open the floor to my panelists. So, Noida versus Gurgaon, that's the big question. Let's shift it to the centers that we are actually looking at. Pankaj, what do you think? Which one's better placed?
You've already summed it all up.
No, I haven't summed it up. I've just said the good, the bad.
See, the infrastructure...
You're free to tell us the uglier parts that we've not spoken about, or the really good parts, excellent parts.
See, the infrastructure in UP, which is Noida and Greater Noida, is really excellent. The master planning is excellent. And when we say infrastructure, not only roads but sewer, electricity, almost everything is in place. Gurgaon obviously has the advantage of the proximity to the international airport, and a lot of MNCs having their presence there. But generally the policies of the government in UP are much friendlier to development than they are in Haryana. So I'll give you an example. The FAR, the buildable area that one gets in 1 acre in Haryana is 1.75 into the 4,000 square meters per acre, and which is about 76,000 square feet. An equivalent acre in Noida will let the developer build about 1.2 lakh square feet. The density which is allowed in UP is much higher than in Haryana, so that allows the developer to make smaller apartments.
And therefore more affordable.
So an average apartment size in Noida would be about 1,000 square feet versus 1,700 square feet in Gurgaon. So that obviously translates into affordability. So the ticket prices in Noida would hover around 50, 60, 70 lakh rupees, and that is the reason why it has emerged as a hub for affordable mid housing. But you would find that a lot of people get priced out by the policies of Haryana in Gurgaon.
So let's ask the Gurgaon developer. Do you think that Gurgaon is on pricing front, as Pankaj said? Arjun Puri, you need to come in here. On pricing front, Gurgaon has become a little bit too expensive for it to be affordable. And in terms of policy, the Gurgaon or Haryana government has really struggled to keep pace with what UP has done.
Well, a couple of things. Firstly, Gurgaon is without a shadow of doubt, I think we all agree, the most desirable address in NCR even today. If any of us had to buy a house for ourselves, or if we could afford it, in NCR, the #1 choice would always be Gurgaon. Now, it is true that Gurgaon infrastructure has, had a lot of issues in the past, but with this government, with this current government, we have seen, fantastic policies and a lot of dynamism shown by the Chief Minister to settle issues. I'll give you an example. So Dwarka Expressway was, embroiled in litigation for over 5 to 6 years. It took this government only 6 months to come to power, and within that time they have, made the entire Dwarka Expressway litigation free, and now that road is coming to a verge of completion. So, in that way, they've been extremely good. Now, as far as policies and affordability are concerned, Haryana has unveiled one of the best licensing policies in the country. They have recently introduced a new licensing policy under which they have allowed licenses to be given for townships even on 25 acres, and they have unlocked a huge amount of land in Haryana. So I think even affordability is something that the Haryana government has really worked on.
Okay, all right, I'll come to each of these points and get independent expert views, but Mohit, what's your point of view? I mean, you're there in both markets, but literally, I mean, as a developer, do you find that UP policies are far more encouraging, far more conducive to your business than Haryana is?
So with a yes or no straightforward answer, I would say yes. So UP, in terms of policy offered to developers. So in the end, it's not about developers, it's in the end the end user, because we're going to be selling it to the end user as well. So as Mr. Pankaj says, the average size of the apartment, which is 1,000 in, say, UPN, which is around 1,500 to 1,700 in Gurgaon. So affordability, which is a matter of concern, and which I think the whole nation demands right now, that should be the focus of all the governments of the country, not just UP, Haryana. So, and right now, Mr. Puri said, yes, this government is definitely acting on the fact that, okay, affordability is needed, and two different policies have come in, which is affordable and which would actually, I think, bring down prices in Gurgaon and Faridabad. So not Faridabad, but yes, definitely Gurgaon. Okay, and then it will make it affordable for all the people.
All right.
But one thing I completely agree with Mr. Puri is that Gurgaon is the foremost region where any consumer would love to live.
All right, and I think the reasons for them, let me just spell out some and bring up this very interesting, we all know about these data points and graphics, but this is what's happening. Why is Gurgaon the choice of address for anybody who can afford it? Now, if you look at what has been happening on the investment front, Noida and that region, despite having better infrastructure, and I think that's kind of established, just hasn't been able to bring in some of the top companies. Gurgaon is home to more than 250 Fortune 500 companies. Imagine half of Fortune 500 list is actually based out of Gurgaon. Last year, Haryana received investment commitments worth 3,500 crore rupees during a day-long Invest North conclave. Haryana government is also in talks with China's biggest real estate developer, Dalian Wanda Group, who is likely to invest around $1 billion to build a mega industrial township in the state. A global investor summit is to be held in Gurgaon from 7th to 8th March. Now, it's not like Uttar Pradesh isn't trying. The Taiwanese consortium, Taiwan Electrical and Electrical Manufacturers Association, has expressed interest. Is this a beginning? Interest to invest 200 million in an electronic manufacturing cluster. Samsung India has invested 517 crore rupees for expansion of the Noida plant. The Spice Group has also announced an investment of 500 crores. So these are small ones, but remember, I mean, still the biggies are not making a beeline for Noida region. Sameer, is it because just it's a lack of airport? Is that what's holding back Noida, or is there much more?
No, I think it's primarily the lack of airport, but also the first mover advantage that Gurgaon had and it's been able to capitalize upon is the first few multinationals like the GEs and the Pepsis that moved, and the private development that was there really lived up to the expectations, at least on the commercial side of things. They had complete control of the commercial facilities that they were building out, and Cyber City is a prime example of that. You have over 25 million square feet being developed by a single developer, and out of the 250 Fortune companies that you're talking about, 100 plus are over there only. So I think first and foremost, it's been the proximity to the airport, the commercialization of Gurgaon, thanks to all the big multinationals coming in, and then the private developers have done their job of building world-class developments over there. Coming to Noida, you know, there has been this government intervention of passing on land to the developers, and you know, one big thing on the policy side we're not talking about, which is going to start to really badly affect Noida in a big way, is that you know, you could buy land in Noida from the developer by paying over 8-10 years, and many developers and many developments are going to have not paid up that amount to the land authorities, and the consumers are going to really suffer over there because they're never going to get their flats, and that's going to be a big negative from a policy perspective on the Noida front.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a big one. We're going to come back to that, but I think let's just keep this debate right now between Noida and Gurgaon. And when we say Noida and Gurgaon,